Hey guys, what's going on? It's StormCoder here with another video. In this video, we're gonna be talking about Splatfest that's coming up. It's gonna be a pretty interesting one because we have three teams. We have mint chip. My bad, mint chip chocolate, not mint chocolate. Mint chip chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. And the people who will be sponsoring those teams is Shiver for vanilla, strawberry fry, and then mint chip big men. Now, here's one major issue with this entire Splatfest, trying to figure out who's going to win. We have absolutely no idea because there are way too many variables to choose from. We have the popularity of the idols, we have the colors of the ink, we need to know where the pro players are going. We don't even know we have polls, right, in Japan. No, not for Japan. We have polls in the West, when on YouTube. If you go on YouTube or any social media, look like any SplatTuber, they probably had made a post about what team you're joining for the Splatfest, and it would probably look like something like 30-40% vanilla, and then 20-something% strawberry, 20 to 30% mint chip, or reverse the roles depending on what channel you're on, or whatever SplatTuber is supporting, yada yada. Those aren't too accurate for actually measuring the Splatfest. There's one main reason for that. We don't know everyone not everyone on YouTube or anywhere else actually uses an account and actually votes. Number two, these polls aren't for everyone. Not everyone's going to be able to see them. No, first off, so measuring the popularity of a team based off the polls that we have. Yes, they might give you an indicator what people in the West are thinking, but they're nowhere near what's actually going to happen. Because we had multiple Splatfests where we thought stuff like milk chocolate, Team Aliens were gonna win, but their popularity, even though they were high, in the case of milk chocolate, we were not the highest. We were the second most popular team. White chocolate was the most popular, even though in the West it wasn't voted too high. Because in Japan people like white ink, and I think they do like white chocolate more over there. I'm not certain, but we never took into account Japan, and that's where most people who actually play this game live. If you guys don't know this, even though I think Splatoon sold 10 million copies worldwide, it's almost 11 million copies. The vast majority of those copies are in Japan. Around 7 or 8 million of those copies. I think it's closer to 7 million of those copies. 3 million are sold everywhere else. Now, if you think about it, alright, so you live in the United States, there's probably 1 million Splatoon players or something like that. If that. Probably a little bit, probably less. Okay, if we take a poll of every single one of those, that's still not gonna get us anywhere near who's actually gonna be popular during the Splatfest. And we can look at people like Kyo, Chara, Kiver, all the pro players you see on Twitter. You can check what teams they're picking, and that might influence your vote. But that's not an overall representation of the pro community either. We know, I think we know, dude. That SRB2 dude, that dude, Commander 2, the leader of the Splatfest. Good, he does good work. Go sub to him. He has revealed the amount of cheating the other Splatfest teams have done. I know. I've seen it firsthand. We know you Team Courage people were cheating during that Splatfest. We know it. But anyway, he's usually on one team. He picks a team. It's all usually for fun. The jokes against other teams, it's for fun. Because yes, it's not actual hating, but he joins a team, and a lot of people go to that team. They give him information, his observations in the game, these people are disconnecting, they must be cheating, they're trying to win Splatfest, stuff like that. So he has an influence, and he's very good at streaming it and getting people on his team to relay information and tell them what they need to do. Especially during the water Splatfest, he got the crab tanks rolling, and that's got it. Gave Big Man a solid W. I always remember that because I was on that team. Straight W's, no L's. Yes, sir. But for this, it's gonna be difficult because the pros are kind of split on the teams, as always. Kind of more split now. Dude's on vanilla, I think. He's definitely not mint chip because in his tweets he's disgusting. I know Milana's not on it either. She has the same sentiment. She might be strawberry, but I think she's on vanilla. Most likely. And there's all the other teams. I still have to do more research on this. But generally, the polls and all that other stuff don't really matter for Splatfest. Because the only polls in Splatfest that actually matter are in the game. Like, the sneak peek tells us which team has grinded more per capita. Like, which team was actually online more the week before. Since the Splatfest is in 2 weeks, the sneak peek starts, I believe, no, today's Sunday. So Monday. So the sneak peek starts next Friday, which is on, I believe, the 7th? Yes, the 7th. So the 7th is when sneak peek starts. So from then until the next Friday is how we're going to be able to determine how many people were actually grinding. And if we know how many people were actually grinding, we can actually discover, okay, who was doing what. This team was actually grinding during the sneak peek. So during this Splatfest, they're going to be a massive problem because they're actually going to be playing the game and not throwing. You're actually going to be playing the game. It's also like a sign of that, whatchamacallit, a good amount of pro players on your team. Because if you have one sneak peek, that means you have good players who keep winning matches. Because if you don't win matches, you don't get too many conch shells. Like, yes, you might get a few, but it's really about wins. If you win a lot more, you get a lot more conch shells. So that's the most important thing for, like, determining, like, where the pros are. Where most of the, like, very good people, the people who play this game a lot are. The sneak peek vote is the only one that matters for that. Everything else is irrelevant. Like, Twitter's, like, gives, like, kind of a glimpse at it, but that's not the full picture. Part 2. Popularity and all the other stuff. Popularity we won't know until the very end, but you can tell in the games, if you're getting a lot of mirrors, you're on the most popular team. We won't know what team is most popular until we actually get into Splatfest, because there's too many factors. The white ink with Shiver stands is going to be one thing, and people like vanilla. So that team's going to be has a lot of things going for it to be popular, but the other team also has green, and it has big man. It has its loyal mint chip followers and its big man stands as well. So the main issue here is, like in Japan, I think big man everywhere. I think big man's very popular. I think in Japan he's most popular. The issue for I think in Japan is going to be which urge is more powerful, the power of white ink or the power of big man himself. Because last time when big man had white ink, he stole the show. But now he doesn't have white ink. He's still big man, but he doesn't have the white ink. And he has a kind of a controversial pick outside Japan. In Japan, I think Minchip's pretty popular too. So it's going to be very difficult going to decipher who's actually going to be very popular. We know Strawberry is probably going to be least popular simply because it doesn't have the same appeal as the other two. Like it doesn't have the thing it doesn't have like the Japan thing, like a Storm between Big Man and Minchip. Like Minchip is popular over there, and it's popular more in the West. It doesn't really have that popularity anywhere else. And it had the same traits. Fry isn't like thought about too much in terms of the idol thing. Not a lot of people like Fry. She's a good idol, but not a lot of people like Fry. So definitely Strawberry is most likely going to be one of the least popular teams, unless it's going to be if people don't want to be on the other two teams because of the mirror battles. If they choose Strawberry because they want to get wins or something like that, and don't want to keep fighting themselves over and over again. We do know the tricolor stage for this, which is a Barnacle and Dime. Now, the thing about Barnacle and Dime, it looks like this normal spawn points are always there, but now there's spawn points in mid on the left and right side. So that should be interesting to see what happens. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to play out. The Ultra Signal is in like the direct middle of the map, so that shouldn't be too bad of a map for tricolor. It's not terrible. It's not the best that they could have did. I think the Zelda one was still a lot better. That was for like a special Splatfest. But this one, it shouldn't be too bad for the tricolor stage. I think the main thing that's going to hurt tricolor this time is how many mirror battles do Vanilla and Minchip get. If they get a lot of mirror battles, it's going to be really hard for either one to win. That really depends on their popularity too. So if Vanilla and Minchip, right? Vanilla's like 40, might be 40% or something. Let's just say hypothetically, Minchip is 40% of the vote. Minchip's 40% of the vote. Vanilla is like what? No, it can't be that high. Minchip is like 31% of the vote. Vanilla is like 39%. Alright? The 70%. Strawberry is like 30%. Oh no. Actually, let's lower that about a bit more. No, still 39. Minchip is 35. than for, and Strawberry is 26%. If there are too many mint chip and vanilla players and not enough strawberry players, Tricolor is going to be a nightmare for those two teams because they won't have strawberry to actually be in a fight. Strawberry will actually have a pretty good advantage when it comes to getting clout because they probably won't be getting a lot of mirror matches. Since not getting a lot of mirror matches, your matches actually count and they get clout from them. So if Strawberry at least has a good amount of decent players on it, not like the best of the best, but it has a good amount of decent players and not too many like casuals because it's not a popular team. The team could still like pull away some things. They could pull away Tricolor, they could pull away Pro, they could pull away Open if it really tries. I don't think Open as likely because Open's usually more if the popular team gets that one. But they could pull away some things. And especially if Sneak Peek, like let's say Minchip wins Sneak Peek, because I think they might actually do it. Don't quote me on that because it's a thought, it's not certain. Minchip actually does win Sneak Peek. And Vanilla is in Vanilla might win popularity. Might. If they don't win popularity, they have a really bad issue. Because now they have to win. Now they're gonna have a lot of mirror battles, possibly. And they're gonna have to win Open, Tricolor, and Pro just to win. If Strawberry doesn't win anything. Strawberry is definitely going to at least probably win at least one of the modes. Because they're not going to be getting those clout issues. But for Vanilla Minchip, it's a tough case. Because if they don't win, because if either one of them doesn't win Sneak Peek, it's a lot harder for them to actually win the Splatfest. Because the thing is, they need modes. If they don't get Sneak Peek, they need modes because popularity is going to be too much of an issue for them. So that's why I say when people when there's a video like, we already know who's going to win the Splatfest. Which they don't do it out of like bad heart or anything. They like to make content. It's fair. I support that. But we don't know who's going to win any of these Splatfests too early on, because especially ones like this, the choices are way too. Choices right here are way too dynamic and too many variables to take into account. Because we need to take into account pro player positions, what the casuals are thinking, what different geographic regions are thinking. There's way too much stuff that needs to be thought about, that needs to be put into like a little box for the entire community to think about, to actually think, okay, this is what's definitely going to happen. And especially since Sizzle season, like, the update wasn't terrible, but it's definitely not. I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's not the most content-packed update, if you know what I mean. Like, there's not as many players on Splatoon 3, I feel, now as there were even in Fresh Season. In Fresh Season, there actually there were a good amount of players who came just for like the big run, and I think not extra work necessarily, but the Fresh Season was a bigger update and it felt more like one. This update added the new map isn't terrible. Added a mid to good map, and they added Humpback. I don't hate Humpback. Humpback I think is good. It's not the most liked map in the community. So there's less players automatically. So there's probably gonna be less casuals based off that. Because competitive players usually play this game a lot anyway. They don't tend to drop this game too often unless they need a break. So this Splatfest might be more where the people who play the game a lot more, it's gonna be probably less casuals, are gonna decide it more. So it really might be where are the grinders going that you have to think about. Not like, okay, what team's most popular? No, you're not thinking it. You don't want to think like that. Because most popular doesn't usually mean good. Because most popular means anyone could join. You want to look at the team that has the most grinders. So Sneak Peek is also good. Also, for like winning the Splatfest in general, the second pole, halftime, that one matters the absolute most. Because it tells new players or whoever's joining Splatfest at that time that this team is winning. So, for example, let's say, for example, somehow Strawberry is winning at halftime, somehow. Which would be really weird. But if they're somehow winning at halftime, this is really bad for Vanilla and Minchip. because there's not as many strawberry players, because it's not as popular. Now here's the issue: you have strawberries in the lead. They're definitely in the lead, but now there's less of them, so it's harder to actually get the tricolor perfect cloud thing that you want. And because that's hard to get, now you have to start thinking, oh wait, this could actually be really bad for us. We don't have, this strawberry team is in the lead. There aren't too many of them. I'm getting mirrors back to back. Every time they join, they're on. Every time we join, we're either defending, or we're attacking. Strawberry's not here. Or they're on like attack mode. It's like it's a mess. It's like mint and vanilla would need to be both on attacking to get the double cloud, and strawberry would need to be defending. But since there aren't so many defending players on strawberry, it's gonna be a mess because they're not gonna be able to get as much clout because bounce is all wrong. So that really gives the advantage to whatever team like wins. Like the issue is like, since mint and vanilla are gonna be more popular, the distribution is gonna be messed up because you need 4 for defense, you need 2 and 2 for attack. If the ratio is wrong, and there's not enough strawberry players to log in at one time, you're gonna get mirrors back to back, which people hate, or you're gonna get the situation where you're never getting the 1.5 clout thing because you're always on the wrong side, and that's gonna be like the big challenge. A lot of players, when they see, oh, strawberry's in first, oh, let's join this team, that might even it out. That's definitely a thing. That can even it out. Because that's really the thing that matters popularity. If that team wins halftime, that team's probably gonna win popularity. Why? Because a lot of people are gonna be joining that team because they're winning, obviously. So if you really want to know who's gonna win popularity, you don't look at the polls. You look at halftime. The team that's winning at halftime is going to win popularity. They will, because people are going to join their team because they want to win. That's the major issue. We don't know whether the white ink and the memes with Shiver are going to outbeat Big Man, the mint chip, and like Japan's love with it. We don't know, because Japan's going to be torn between those things, and people in the West don't like mint too much, so they're going to be on vanilla. This is going to be a very difficult Splatfest stat to think about. We don't know who's winning. I can tell you one thing though. Splatfest should be very fun. It's going to be the first like Splatfest where it's like during the summer and almost everyone can play if they want to. I don't think everyone's going to be on. Some people like drop the game because it's not as fun for them. I almost thought there's someone like at my door. My bad. But this Splatfest is definitely going to be one of those. It's very hard to tell who's going to win before the Splatfest actually starts. But when you're actually in it, it's really dependent on who has popularity early. And by halftime, it's basically set. Because if any team is winning by halftime, they're probably going to win popularity. And if they won sneak peek, it's basically GG. Now, the biggest thing that's going to hurt, the biggest thing that will matter is probably mirror battles. The more mirror battles, the harder it will be for either vanilla or mint chip to win cleanly. I think either one of those teams will still win. There's a chance strawberry wins if we like clutch it up with the K50, the 52 gal, and go something like that. But I don't think this is gonna be like Splatfest where clean sweep like water, clean sweep like what's it call it, like Team Gear, clean sweep. Not well, clean sweep wasn't clean sweep. Clean sweep like white chocolate when we didn't expect it to be. This is gonna be similar to like white chocolate in the unexpected part, but I don't see sweep. I don't see that. Sweep seems unlikely. It's going to be a very tough, like drawn out, very close battle. It's not gonna be sweep. Like sweep the board. Big man wins everything. News. It's not gonna be that. If it does happen though, it'll be extremely funny. That's just the major thing I'm thinking of. We don't know who's gonna win the Splatfest, so saying who is, thinking about who is, we can't. we have to wait. Choose whatever team you want, guys. It doesn't really matter what team you choose. If you like mint chip, I'm actually trying to get my mom to get me that right now. Want vanilla, want strawberry, go get it. And the ice cream, it doesn't really matter what team you're on. Just make sure if you're really trying to win and you're really like a mercenary who's actually thinking about winning every single Splatfest, this one you gotta be watchful of, because you gotta actually think about what's happening. Now, I don't have too much, I'm not gonna edit the video, like I'm gonna add like, whatchamacallit, like memes or anything. This is just gonna be like a talk video for you guys. So you guys just get to hear my voice and hear me explain stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys heard my thoughts. If you guys have any questions at all, just leave them in the comment section. I will get to them. Just like super fast. With my fingers, I'll get it. And I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. This video will be uploaded today. And I'll make an extra work video as well on what I think about extra work just after this. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.